Hey everyone, I'm Joe, and welcome back to the Smart Workshop. Let's talk about website monitoring. Honestly, when you're just getting started with Zabbix, it can feel overwhelming. There's a lot of configuration, setting up individual hosts, building web scenarios, crafting complicated trigger expressions. It's a rabbit hole, to be honest, but it doesn't have to be. That's why today I'm going to show you a much simpler way. We're talking about leveraging templates to get up and running, monitoring as many web services as you want and fast. And we're going to cover a few things I learned along the way, things I didn't expect. So let's just jump right in. Our goal here is simple and effective website monitoring. Low or no false positives, repeatable configurations, and sensible default values. It's about getting the right alerts at the right time without spending hours tweaking settings. All right, so let's just walk through a practical example. I've already got a host configured. This is just monitoring our website, thesmartworkshop.net. So let's take a quick look at what would go into setting this up by hand. First, you'd have to generate the host, configure some macros to define what the URL and the max delays are, and we'd need to set a couple of triggers. We'd need one for just up-down status. It's not responding. It's not giving the response code it's supposed to give. And then we'd need another one to understand if it's running slowly. A website could be up, but it's just slow, right? So that's no good. You'll see these consist of some fairly hard to understand expressions. You have to build these out, set your thresholds, make sure you're referencing variables so you don't have to come in and tweak this thing by hand each time. You'd need to set your severity levels to warning or high so that you're getting meaningful alerts depending on how severe that problem is. Okay, so those are the triggers, but where does the data from those triggers come from? That comes from a web scenario. So we'd have to build out this web scenario, which has steps defined in here. It's going to pull this URL on a regular interval and see what its response time is. And that's just to get monitoring for one website. What a nightmare, right? So for everything it takes to manually build out a monitor for a website, how often are you actually going to do this when you need to monitor a ton of different web services in your environment, internally, externally, keep them well tuned and all that? What a nightmare. Tell you what, I built a template so that you can do this in just a couple of clicks. Let's check it out. So what are templates? They're pre-built configurations you can easily import and adapt for your environment. I've created a template specifically for website monitoring, and it's available to pull just straight from my GitHub repository. Link to that below. Go ahead and grab that template. It's just a .yaml file, and save it to your local computer, and let's import it. But before we do, just like with anything else we work with on the Smart Workshop, let's take a quick pause and examine this YAML first. Yep, even from me, please get into a good habit of reviewing what is actually here before we blindly import it into a system and start using it. Just general best practice to get into a good habit of. Once you've stepped that template file and you're comfortable with it, let's go to Data Collection and Templates, and in the upper right, click Import. And we're going to browse for that file. So select that file and click import. This will give you a breakdown of exactly what's importing. I've already got this in my environment, so it's just kind of telling me what's changed since I last imported it. So now let me show you how simple it is to monitor any arbitrary website by using that template rather than setting up all that crazy configuration we were looking at earlier. Go to monitoring, go to hosts, and click create host. And we're going to give this host a name. And in the templates field, if you just start typing web, we're looking for website monitored by HTTP. So go ahead and select that. That's the template we imported. And host groups, you have to have a host group. So go ahead and send this anywhere you like. It can be really anything. I'm just going to add it to applications. Doesn't really matter. Next, we're going to go to the macros tab, and you're going to select this inherited and host macros. And this is where it's going to expose all of those global macros or variables within your Zabbix environment. The three that are specific to this template: web max delay. So this is the maximum delay in millisecond response on a website before it will trigger a warning that the website is running slow. And you can tune this per site. Web status code. Typically a website is going to respond with a 200 OK response. So this is going to work for almost everything, but I made it a macro variable so you can adjust that if you have anything that's got a different response code. And then importantly, the web URL. So this is the actual URL that you are monitoring. Click change, and you're going to enter that value. And once you've got that set the way you like, go ahead and click add. Now, at this point, I recommend you let this run for 15 to 30 minutes, maybe longer if it's a public website, just to let it gather some meaningful data so you can trend that over time so that we can tune that variable for that maximum response. So once that's ran long enough that you're satisfied, you're gonna be getting enough data to do something meaningful with the tuning, let's take a look at what it actually gathered. So click on latest data. This will show you the metrics that it is pulling for this monitor. Awesome. We see we're getting a response code of 200. Perfect. And our response time is less than 3 milliseconds. Not bad, right? On the far end here, just click graph. In here, you can see the response time of that web service over time. You know, if it has some spikes, that's okay. Those are not going to trigger the alarm. But if it has any sustained high levels, you're going to want to set your threshold just above that, something you can tune per monitor with no trouble. Armed with that information, let's go back into that host. So click on it, click host, and we're going to go to the macros tab again on the top. And again, let's switch over to the inherited and host macros. And we still have our max delay set at the default of 300 millisecond defined from the template. So let's change that. Now, I want to demonstrate what happens when it triggers a warning alert. So I'm going to intentionally set this way below. So we said it has a response time of like 2 to 3 millisecond. So let's put this at 1 millisecond. 1.001, that's 1 millisecond. Remember, this field is in seconds, so you have to do a decimal place there. Click update. And from here, if we just wait a moment, we should see that monitor go into a warning state. And we see this little yellow or orange number 1, hover over it, says warning. And if we go back to our dashboard under current problems, we do indeed see a brand new warning here indicating that the response time is slow. It's responding at 4 milliseconds. Oh no. Let's go ahead and set that back to a meaningful value, and we'll notice that that alarm will clear. Click on that monitor, go to host, go to macros tab, and we're going to set this value. So we know the response time is, pretty low, 30 millisecond. 0.030, that I might want to take a look at it, considering its normal response time is an order of magnitude lower than that. We'll update that and we'll return to the dashboard. We'll give it a minute or two and we should see that alert clear out. And there we go. It cleared out, returned to normal. Let's do one more demonstration just to cover off all of the alerting functionality of this custom template. Let's go edit that monitor one more time. So click on it, go to host and go to macros. And I'm going to intentionally just change this port at the end to something that it's not going to actually respond on. So it's supposed to be 8123 Home Assistant. Let's just take that 3 off, 812. Okay, that's not a viable port on that server. So at the next cycle, when it checks that host every minute, it will not be able to reach it. And we should get a website is down error. We'll return to the dashboard and hey, there we go. We have a new alert. It's a high priority alert indicating the website is not available. Did that on purpose, so that's a good thing. But we're demonstrating that that worked. To clear it, we'll go back again, click on the host, macros. We'll set this back to the correct configuration, back to our dashboard, and there we go. It cleared out that error. So that's a quick tour of using my custom Zabbix template for website monitoring and vastly simplifying the setup of website monitoring. It's a huge time saver, makes the whole process much more manageable. Just a couple of clicks, you're gonna have all your websites up and monitored. Coming up next, I'll be covering how to deploy Zabbix agents to your hosts to send real-time monitoring data. Let's get some more data points in here, right? After that, we'll configure auto discovery to allow Zabbix to find hosts and devices on your network and even alert you when new devices are found. I'll also show you a dead simple way to upgrade Zabbix so you're always staying current. And we're also gonna dive into alert dependencies to prevent those dreaded alert storms. If your internet goes down, you really don't want like 100 alerts that it can't reach websites and stuff. That's where dependencies come in. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Smart Workshop if you're not already, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next videos. I'm Joe at the Smart Workshop. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.